Okay. Yes.
Do you want to make some monster ice cubes with Monster Energy?
And I'm not concerned with the idea of an energy drink ice cube. As far as I'm concerned,
This is doing in the video, by the way.
I'm more concerned by the shape that you decided to go with.
Hello.
I love you.
Oh, you. Bye.
Bye. Oh my god. Oh dear god. Anyways. Yeah, I'm not editing that out. That's yeah. Okay. Wow. Got nothing. I got nothing. Um I'm lost. I'm just lost. I'm totally lost right now. Okay, so this is a cycle logic that I've made. Uses accumulators, comparison logic gates, arithmetic logic blocks, more comparison gates, and some AND gates, right? And they all control an individual piston, and will cycle back to this one as you control through it. So you can use this to do things like control weapon loadouts, and anything else you want. So I've got 4 here, but you can make it as small or as large as you want according to this accumulator right here, right? So we're going to go over the settings screen. So let me show you how it works real quick. I don't remember what the buttons are. RB is that. Oh, RB and LB. Okay, it's up there. Okay, so there's RB, right? You see this controls this one, right? So, and then this one, you can see it flashes over the second one. So I control the second one. The first one does not do anything, right? Click over to the third one. So this controls this one here. And then click over to the fourth one. And we're controlling this one again. Now if I click it a 5th time, it'll go back to the first one, and now I'm controlling the first one again. Right? And we can do this as many times as we want. Right? So let's go over our settings. I chose pistons for this, but it works with you keep binding it to anything and work with anything, right? So like if you want to put weapons on here, I'm just gonna throw some weapons on here real quick so you can see what I mean. Let's throw on some mini cannons. Let's throw on a mini cannon here. Let's go like this. All you do is take this and tie it in, and then get rid of that. All right, and then let's throw another weapon on there. Let's throw on a It's on a laser blaster. Tied in. Get rid of the keybind. All right, and then let's throw in a short range EMP. Yeah, I know it's all gonna lift up. Whatever. Who cares? She watches the weirdest things. That woman's something else. She really is. And a rocket launcher. How did I get so damn lucky? And get rid of that. Keybind? Okay, so now see it fires that, and you see I only have the two keybinds on this thing. That's all I have. So it cycles through. Just like that. Simple as that. Alright, so let's explain how this works. So you have your accumulator set, and this will be, you'll have a minimum of 1, a maximum of however many cycles you have, right? But it's always, so if you have 4 cycles, you're going to have 5, like you see here. Like here you'll see like 5. If you have 3, you'll have 4. If you have 2, you can do with an XOR and a NOR gate, right? After you get past 2 cycles, like a cycle of a 1, a cycle of 2, once you get to the third one, you'll need this system, right? So 3 you'll need 4, 4 you need 5, and so forth. So you always add 1 extra on top of that on your however many you've got to cycle through. But yeah, I mean, it's infinite. It's this thing goes up to 100, I believe, right? Yeah, this goes up to 100. So you can do 99. You can put 99 different cycles in this thing. You're really gonna do that? No, right? I mean, if you want to, you can. That's fine. Not a big deal. But make sure you're in the positives, right? So, and then your scale is going to be 1. You're going to use. I'm not going to throw the rope. Take it. You're going to use steps, all right? And that's going to tie into all your comparison logic gates, every single one of them. Okay. Your first comparison logic gate is going to have a threshold of 1, output of 1, and it's going to tie into your first AND gate. First AND gate is going to have your tie-in from your comparison gate and whatever your control is going to be, RB in my case, right? But whatever keybind you want it to be, it'll be that keybind, right? Your second logic gate, you have a threshold of 2. Same thing, output 1 ties into second AND gate. Second AND gate, same keybind, right? What the heck? Okay. Third, threshold 3, and 4, threshold 4. And you want this comparison mode to be equals, right? It's important that it's equals because you want it to equal the output of the accumulator. So accumulator output of 1 is going to be this one. Accumulator output of 2 is going to be this guy. Accumulator output of 3 is going to be that guy. Accumulator output of 4 is going to be this guy. And then when you get to accumulator output of 5, it goes to this one, right? Now this one sends a signal to this arithmetic block, which has a constant of negative 1,000. I gotta say thank you to Unify because I was struggling with this, and Unify actually gave me this idea, right? So Unify, cool, thanks. You're a logic master. Tell me what to figure out. Duration just needs a little bit of a duration and a pause, right? So it resets itself. You want it to multiply, right? So what that does is when this triggers, this sends a negative signal all the way back to this accumulator, allowing it to reset, right? Once that resets, you can go cycle through 1, 2, 3, 4, however many you're going, right? So that's how this cycle logic works. I spent some time looking online trying to find out different ways, different more complicated ways to figure this out. I couldn't figure it out because honestly, I don't think I'm that smart. I mean, I couldn't figure out how to reset an accumulator. I had to ask for help to reset an accumulator, but I did figure out how to do all this. So that's how the cycle logic works. Pretty simple, pretty easy, not that hard to understand. I don't think it is. You know what? Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. How do I? We're gonna go here. I'm gonna load this up right now into the Who's It's guy. So if you guys want, where did it go? Here it is. So if you guys want, upload cycle logic. Let's do this. Simple cycle logic. I think that describes it. I don't know. I don't know what to tag it. Weekly challenge? No. Space, motorcycle, mobile, hovercraft, helicopter, fan art, combat, car, boat. That's just not untagged. Submit. All right. So if you guys want that, if you're watching my YouTube and you want that, you saw me upload it, there it is for you. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is explore this vehicle. I built this as a test platform to test. I was trying to build a swash plate. It's to do one accurately in a small form faction is kind of impossible to do, right? So I built this guy, and it has a basically you'll see what it does here. So it spins up the rotor, but as you see, it doesn't lift off yet. We're not lifting off yet. So in order to do that, we need to increase the collective. In a helicopter, the collective is the pitch of the blade that gives the helicopter lift. So when you first start the helicopter, the collective will be at a neutral position, right? But as you increase collective, it increases pitch of the blade, and you'll start to hover, right? And then you'll sit there. Now, this isn't the best at hovering, but it does the job. Obviously, the more upwards thrust you add, the better hover it gets. I have no controls on this, by the way. This is all C controls. So, yeah, I don't really have any control of this. You can see it goes up, goes down. The helicopter blades, they do provide lift, obviously, but not enough lift to lift the whole thing off the ground, simply because I'm too heavy, right? Once I get all the way down to the ground, it shuts off. Once that speed sensor starts kicking in, and you can see I have tail rotors, which is what I normally use for my helicopters, and I have a space thruster there too. And you can see that, you can see all the logic operating right there. Go down. All right, so let's go over this. Let's go over this logic, and it shuts off. So I have three separate logics to go for this, right? You can see the accumulator ramping down right there. And let's look at this logic real quick. So you see that switch from the NOR gate into the XOR gate, whichever one around, and then the accumulator slowly ramps up, right? Then when I click it off, there it goes again, right? And then you can see it going into the multiplication block, and the accumulator is slowly ramping down. So let's go over this. Let's do the helicopter rotor logic first. So obviously spinning servo, this also works with a rotating servo, right? So either one, set the strength to 0, or in this case, set the speed to 0. Then you have your helicopter. I only have this at 5, so I wonder if I have it at 10 would be different. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, so helicopter block is going to go into your accumulator. Accumulator, minimum 0, maximum 1, scale at however fast you want it. So you can actually, you can make this go really slow, right? Like, that's as slow as it'll go. So how slow is that? Okay, that might be, that's really slow. That's really, really slow. Oh, it's doing something. It's doing something. Okay, yeah, see, that's too slow. But yeah, there it is. So that'll slowly ramp up. Oops. 0.1 is usually idly, but that seems fast enough. You don't need to use steps. You know, I don't know if this works with keyboard. Let's switch to keyboard real quick and find out. I don't play with keyboard. How do you get out of here? B. Still no. Okay, so space control and right. Which one's which? Okay, so space is that. Man, the keyboard binds with. Okay, that's just weird. So does this work? Click that. Okay, this does work. I need to see if that works with the keyboard too, actually. It should. Which way's up? That way's up. Okay, it does work. Okay, it does work with. So you can do it with regular keyboard and mouse. Just program your keybinds however you want to program them. So that's the easy thing to do, right? So once again, accumulator. 1, scale. It scales your speed of your rate of acceleration, I will say. That's how fast that will go. This will probably work for other things too, but really I think mostly helicopter. And then this guy goes to an XOR gate, which I also have tied into that. Why do I have that tied into that? I don't know. Doesn't matter. And a arithmetics block. Your constant is kind of is wanted to be a negative, but that also controls the rate at which this decelerates. So XOR gate goes into your accumulator. Your NOR gate also goes into your arithmetic block here, right? So, and these are both on toggles. So these have the same controls. An XOR and an OR, XOR and a NOR gate will act as like an on-off switch, right? So if you have one will always be active, one will always be deactive. Then when you click the button, it'll switch them. So these act as like an on-off switch, right? When you have them together in the same keybind, you tie them into the same block, it will act as an on-off switch. But in this case, it's turning off and on this accumulator. So we need to have the on. See, right now, our NOR is on, and it's sending a signal to the multiplication gate, which is sending a signal to the accumulator, which is not allowing it to ramp up. But when you click the on button, which is the A, it'll go into the XOR gate, which goes into the accumulator, which turns it on. Click it again, it turns it off, which means this NOR gate goes into this arithmetic gate and goes into this, right? So that's how we turn that off. If we didn't have this arithmetic gate here to have a negative output, this would not go down. But generally speaking, if you just have both of these tied into something, it will turn it on and off. So that's a simple hover logic. NOR gate, simple output 1 toggle arithmetics block. XOR gate going into here, and apparently also going into our AND gate. So this is where we get into the hover logic here. We have our speed sensor pointing down. I usually put my speed at 0.1. Then it ties into our AND gate. Right? Oh, that's why. So the XOR gate is tied into this. So when this turns on, like it's basically tied in. Like I can't hover until I start the rotors up. So once I start the rotors up, that's what starts the logic for the hovering. So I can't, like, I can do this, right? But I won't hover. Like it'll lift off because it's enough, but it won't hover until I click that. Until I start the rotors. Once I start the rotors, that'll hover, right? So that's how I did that. So that's why that XOR gate is tied into the AND gate, because it needs to be in order to complete the hover logic. So that's that. Now, similar with this one here, you have an RB and LB. You have an LB here, and this ties into the space thruster, right? Your propellers all have just RB and LB, right? And that works to lift and lower the vehicle, because it does cancel out. It will cancel. There's enough thrust on that to cancel out the amount of lift you have. So it works perfectly fine. So this logic going into this, so I had to struggle to figure out how to shut this off. There's no controls in the space thruster. All your controls are in this OR gate and this XOR gate. So the OR gate also goes in the XOR gate. The OR gate has a positive and negative, right? And this ties into the XOR gate. The XOR gate ties into our space thruster with an positive LB, right? And it also ties into our AND gate here. AND gate also has this, so this will allow things to, it works. I can't remember how I made it work, but it works. So, yeah, that is our hover logic. It works. It does the things. You can put whatever keybind you want in it. But that's how I got. And let's load this up too, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. So you guys can just copy and paste as you will. Upload. Helicopter collective and hover. Swash plate, sort of. Da, 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 da. Helicopter. Sort of works as a swash plate. Submit. There you go. Okay. Bet. It's thinking. Upload succeeded. So I came with this helicopter logic because of my MH53 build, which is the build you saw in my short. This guy right here. A two-part monstrosity. Yep, it likes to do that. There it goes. I also did a short video on how to do the connections on this. So here they are. All right, you can see the magnets there. See the 2x1 blocks. Everything's connected there. There is a lot of logic in this. Actually, not that much. It's just the hover logic, some radio signals and whatnot. Here, get the tail end in. Here's the tail end. This actually wasn't that hard to build, honestly. It wasn't that bad. Obviously, I needed a seat in this one because I couldn't get that to do what I wanted to do. Wood in there. When things don't go together right. I really do. We are getting ready to go out and buy me some new boots because I screwed up my back. There it is. And it is currently in a lot of pain. Like a lot of pain. It hurts to sit, it hurts to lay down, it hurts to stand up right now. It just plain hurts. So we're gonna go hopefully buy me some new boots so I can be new boot goofing. See, it starts up the rotors. I do not have lift until I go wee, and I have plenty of it. It is a little bit wobbly, but you know what? It is what it is. Our RB, LB buttons control our yaw. Arrow keys control our roll. I think I need to make it a little bit stronger in the forward a little bit. In the pitch. It's not that great. I mean, I guess it's kind of okay. But I don't like the way. I need to stabilize it a little bit better. But yeah, our roll is our left and right arrow key. Up and down is the wheels, so that's up. Down is our sling load. You can also use the left joystick for pitch and roll, but yeah, this thing needs a little bit better control, so I need to work on the control on this thing. It is a little bit hairy. Not horrible, but like I'm pushing forward on the joystick right now. So if I'm full throttle, it just wants to do this. So this just needs a little bit of work on the control basics. But overall, Turned out to be a pretty decent helicopter. Way better than my last one. For reference, my last MH-53 didn't turn out nearly this. Yeah, that was a thousand. Showing my last MH-53, give you guys an understanding of like the difference between like that and I'm embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie. This guy, yeah, this guy was my first. This is my first. This will lift 6,000 kilograms. But this one does have a cargo area. There's that. But yeah, you can clear world of difference between the two. Worlds of difference between these two guys. This one's way more lore accurate than that one is. You look at the difference. It's unfathomable. I don't know, which one do you guys like better? Let me know in the comments, or whatever. First one, which this one's the first one, I guess. You like the first one, which has a cargo area? Yeah, see? Or do you like the second one, which can lift, at 15,000 kilograms? And I think it looks just overall better. Anyways, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you need help, they're gone. If you need help with the logic I just tried to go over today, let me know. Leave me a comment. I'll try to walk you through it. Anyways, I load those up for you guys too, so if you want to save them, do whatever, it's fine. You guys have a nice day, and I'm going to go buy some new boots. See you all later.